Hi. I had an opening plan for this video. This video where pretty much everything went wrong this week as I was trying to put it together. Yeah, I didn't have the right components on hand, and I had to go out and buy components, and then some of the components I bought were defective, and I took them back, and I got more defective, and pretty much nothing went right, okay? Oh, gosh. So I'm a little thrown off, not just by how the week has gone, but by a comment I just received as I was getting ready to come downstairs and do this intro to this video. And I thought I'd go ahead and share it with you because I want to keep it real, right? I want to keep it real. I am open and honest with you in my jewelry making videos. I share with you when something's not working and I change my mind and go another direction, and this video didn't go perfectly. But this comment that I just received kind of takes the cake, you know? But before I share the comment with you, because I'm going to put it on the screen, I just want to thank you, all of you who take the time to support this channel, Avante Jewellery. And of course, if you're new here, I'm Vicki with Avante Jewellery, because so many of you are so thoughtful and kind in your thumbs up and your comments and voting, for what I make. And it means the world to me. It's what keeps me going, okay? It's what keeps me wanting to make more videos for you, is because I really know how much you appreciate it. And some of the comments lately, let's talk about the ones that really touch my heart, okay? And bring me to tears. I don't want to get teary-eyed. I'm just starting this video. There are those of you who have lost your spouses, who have gone through some depression and anxiety, surgeries, and you have left comments about how getting back to making jewelry has helped you. And when I read those comments, I realize that my videos are about more than just upcycling jewelry. Yeah, I know that because of some of your comments. And it touches my heart in so many ways I can't even begin to explain, okay? Thank you. Thank you to all of you who support this channel. I've been at this making YouTube videos for over 6 years, 6.5, going on 7 years. And this channel, Avante Jewellery, is the channel that is the most successful out of the 3, actually 4, maybe 5 channels that I have. But as I was saying, I was getting ready, getting my makeup on, trying to put a little curl in my hair. Been out running all day. But as I was just about to come down here, I get this comment, and I'm going to put it on the screen. I was like, wow, didn't your mama teach you? If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's how I was brought up. Sure, we all have opinions. And yes, I ask for your feedback on what I make, but really, really, wow. But it's not going to stop me. In fact, the only thing that comment did was stop this commenter from ever having her comments, his or her comments, seen again. YouTube gives us tools to handle situations like this. It's not that I can't take constructive criticism. I don't expect you to like everything. I don't. But if someone is blatantly rude in their comment, and let me back up, because the comment before this person's comment that they were awful, the last person that commented on that very same video that I made almost 2 years ago loved the video, loved the earrings that I made. So that shows you a contrast right there. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't hurt me at all. In fact, thumbs down doesn't hurt this channel at all, because YouTube learned over the years that there are people out there who will try to sabotage a channel by giving them thumbs down. So guess what? The thumbs down, as far as YouTube is concerned, is just as good as a thumbs up, and no one sees it but the person who did it and me. So, big deal, right? Wow. I didn't plan on starting this video out this way, not at all. But it has been quite the week. And You'll see in this video that took me about 5 days to put together, a little bit here, a little bit there. Oh my goodness. But I share that with you throughout the video, the trials and tribulations of making this video on what? What are we making today? We are making chandelier earrings. Well, okay. I'm going to try to make chandelier earrings. The first pair probably doesn't qualify, so don't judge me by that first pair. I worked with some components I had on hand, and the earrings are a little different, a little okay. But I went out and I bought some more components, some true chandelier earring components, and so the earrings got a little bit better along the way. So be sure to watch all the way to the end. We're going to make 4 pairs of earrings in this video. And as I say, my videos are for what? What are they for? Inspiration. Take what you want, leave the rest, get into your bead stash, and have some fun. That's what it's all about. We're having fun here. Ah, gosh. With all that said, thank you again, and let's get started. So far, I have some chain that I've pulled out. I have some silver chain and gold chain in different size lengths. I have this crazy looking chain. It's a bar chain with jump rings. And this one is similar but with less texture. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. I have some components that you would normally use to make a 3-strand bracelet. I've got a couple of those. Have some ear wires in here, some gold plated and silver plated. I pulled out these little components here. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with them yet. I have some very large, kind of chunky jump rings here. I had those in my stash. And then these are some components from a necklace that I took apart not too long ago. I have a mix of plastic beads. I don't think I'm going to use the plastic, but I do have some filigree metal beads in different finishes, and then a couple of filigree beads with little rhinestones. Probably going to try to work some of those in, and then of course some more chain here. So basically that's what I have pulled out so far. So these are some of the components that I have to work with, unless I pick up some other things that I'm out and about. We'll see about that. See if we can make some chandelier earrings. I think I'll start with the components that would typically make a 3-strand bracelet. I think that would be the easiest earring to start with. What does make an earring a chandelier earring? Well, let's see here. I would say that it has multi-tiers. I'd say that chandelier earrings are often ornate and they have long dangles, perhaps chain or beads. And some of them could be shoulder dusters, long enough to be shoulder dusters. So that's just a few ways to think about chandelier earrings. But the first pair, first pair that I made still may not qualify in your mind. I understand that because they really don't qualify in my mind, but I made them, and so we're going to continue on. If we start with these components here, of course we'll need ear wires. Gotta have those. I'll probably just use these hook ear wires. We'll need to attach those with some jump rings. I have this little kit that I purchased a while back. It has lobster clasp and jump rings. I don't need the lobster clasp, but I also have this one here with some jump rings. I think I'll start with these. And of course we'll need to attach something to each of these rings at the bottom. As I'm looking at this, I'm realizing that these are very close together. Whatever I put here needs to be fairly small. Now we could use some head pins and create some dangles. I have 2 flat nose pliers. I'm going to get a hold of the jump ring. These jump rings are overlapping each other just a little bit. Let's attach these 2 together and make sure it's going to go the direction that we want. Yes. To make sure that it dangles the correct way. Oh no, okay, that makes it, adding that jump ring makes it connect to where it hangs sideways rather than front facing. What would you prefer, front facing or sideways facing on a chandelier earring? I think I want it front facing, so I might try to do this without using that jump ring at all. You'll have to decide for yourself what direction you want your earring to face, the dangle part of the earring. So instead of the flat nose, I'm using my chain nose pliers, just because I happen to like those. Open the loop on the ear wires separately, and just go ahead and attach this, and double check the direction. See, we have to make a decision right out of the gate here. Yes, that is much better. So that's what I'm going to do. Forget the jump ring for attaching it to the ear wire. Just go direct. So keep that in mind before you build your whole earring and then find out you don't like the direction that it's going to hang. That's going to work just fine. So what are we going to put on here? What are we going to add? You could always add chain, of course. That's kind of typical, but can we add any beads? You know, let's see. If we put a head pin on each one of these, we would need 3 head pins per earring. I actually have a couple of short ones here. Start out with all of them being the same, just in case. And when I think chandelier, I tend to think that, you know, one of these would be longer than maybe the other two, perhaps. I've been looking for small beads that I have two sizes, two small sizes of each color. I think I found something in the green. I know a lot of you like green. I just don't know if these are too big. Not sure. I'm going to get 2 of those. And this is supposed to be the same color, just smaller. I'll show you what size these are. This is a template that I like to use. The smallest size is, I'm going to guess 4 millimeter. 4 millimeter, and I believe this one is 6 then. Yes, that is 6. So 4 millimeter and 6. I also pulled out a few bead caps. I'm not sure if these are going to work. You know, I'm trying to look at building the center of this first. And I need to have a loop at the top. So I could either use an eye pin or I can make a loop. Let's go ahead and make a loop because we're not going to be needing this head pin on here. So I'm just going to put this over my trash can and cut the head of the head pin off. So now I just have a piece of wire and I'm going to go ahead and make a loop and bend this back. Close the loop. Okay, I have an eye pin. Let's open this sideways and go ahead and put it on the center and close that up. We're just experimenting. I have no preconceived idea on what this is going to look like, but I know that I want to start with the center. Get some of these jump rings out of here. And I've got these little bead cones or bead caps, and I'm going to try the largest bead that I pulled out. That might work. That's what it looks like. And then I have the smaller beads, but I might want to add something else with this. I have a small round bead here. What happens if we alternate little silver bead and the green bead? I'm not liking the larger bead here and the bead cap. It looks like I've got a little person started here. Not liking that at all. However, let's start with the green bead. Not giving up on this idea yet. You did hear the word yet, right? Not giving up yet. Hope you're not giving up on me yet. We just started. Kind of what we have. These are cat's eye beads, so they have that fiber optic look to them. It changes. It's hard to explain unless you know, you know. Let's see if we can put the larger bead at the bottom. I think that's doable, and I don't think I want to go any longer. You know, it's only a head pin. It either works or it doesn't. I'm going to bend it, and I need to make a small loop here. I don't have my 3/8 of an inch, so I'm going to put it on the shorter side of my round nose pliers and just make a loop and close it up. Show you what we have here for the center. This is what I have, okay? So now let's work on 2 more of these, which would be on each side of here. Now with this one, I started right into the green. I didn't put a silver bead there. So I guess I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to put these on here, working each head pin at the same time. I hope I have enough of these green beads. And then adding a small round bead. And these beads are, I believe, 3 millimeter. Don't know why I sometimes forget. Yes, these are 3 millimeter. Wanted to make sure. I'm just going to alternate the green and the silver. But I don't want to go as long as the center one. Got to keep that in mind. So the center one has 4 small beads and then the large bead. If I start with the silver bead at the top, I could have left this on a head pin. Now that I have my pattern down, I could have left it on the head pin and just build it up without having that loop at the bottom. I think I need another green bead on each of these. Still have to make the loop. Kind of wishing now that I had put an uneven number of green beads on here instead of 4. I wish I'd put 5, just gone a little bit longer. And I'm not sure if I want the silver bead at the top or not. Take the silver bead off and see what it looks like. That's a lot shorter than I wanted it to be. When you're using these tiny little beads, just make sure that they're the same size. Sometimes they may not be. I think I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to put the silver, oops. I'm going to stop there, push the beads down, bend this at a right angle. Now I can cut it back to about 3/8 of an inch. Wire is flush, make a loop, just like you do when you make earrings. Close it up. Make sure it's closed all the way. Do the same thing to the other one. Push the beads down, right angle, 3/8. If you hear anything in the background, it's getting very windy outside. We're expecting kind of a storm, winter storm. We might have some snow flurries this week. All right, let's see what this is going to look like. But the wind is really picking up. As I've shared before, my office is on the corner of the house and I have 2 windows. Facing these the same direction when I'm putting them on here, meaning I'm facing the opening to the back. Just got to get in there and get that closed up. Take a look at it. Well, I said I wish this one was longer, and I also said that I could have used a head pin here after all. So let's redo the center one. Just take that off. Yes, I'm giving up head pin to do this, but that's okay. Just going to snip that off. And we're going to be adding another bead to this. So using another head pin, it's going to go through the larger of the green beads and then start with the silver and then alternating silver and green. And I'm working in an extra bead so that it will be a little bit longer than the other 2. I'm sure you know what I mean. Oop. Get back here. It's really not going to be a lot longer unless I add another bead or 2. But I also need room to make my loop at the top. Do I want a silver bead at the top of this one? Could. The others don't have it, but I could. I need to allow enough to make a loop, so I had to eliminate a bead, but I kept a silver bead at the top. I'm going to bend this at a right angle, take my round nose pliers, not trimming anything off, to make a loop. Open it sideways. You know what? I want that straightened up a little bit. Bending it back. I'm flipping things all over the place, aren't I now? Make sure this is facing the right way. I'm glad I put the ear wire on because that keeps it consistent as to what direction is the front or the back. So keep that in mind. You might want to try the same thing. Put the ear wire on right away. Does it look like a chandelier earring? Well, I don't know. It's a nod to a chandelier earring. I'll give it that. It's kind of cool. What do you think? This is going to be pair number 1, so I'm going to straighten some of these loops up just a little bit and make the other one, and we'll take a look at the pair. I am going to make the center one first so that I have the head pin at the bottom and then the 6mm beads. So cue music.
Could you get up soon? I get so cold in the other room. Here I am, honey, half awake. Get yourself moving and you'll be okay. Star clearing true, your honesty could pierce my heart right through. Plans are paper, I'm afraid. Get yourself moving and you'll be okay.
Let's open this loop. Face the open part towards the back of the earring. I know that because of the ear wire. Close that up, give it a little pinch. Do the same thing here. Make sure your beads are pushed down. They're riding up on me just a little bit. Push them down, go through the loop, close it up. I still feel like I need to straighten out one of these here. But let's take a look. Do we have our first pair of chandelier earrings? And again, these are just a bracelet component, a 3-hole bracelet component, and some tiny little cat's eye beads with little round beads in between. And you could probably put seed beads in between as well. So that was pair number 1. Just imagine all the different colors of beads that you could use to make this. You could even make a multicolor pair. I don't know that they qualify as chandelier earrings, but it's what I came up with using the 3-hole component that you would typically use for making a bracelet. Let's move on to pair number 2, and keep in mind that I'm going to ask you at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a recap of all the earrings that we made today, and then ask you to vote in your comment for your favorite pair of earrings. We're going to make 4 total. And yes, now we're going to get into what typically would be considered a chandelier earring, because I went out and bought some components, proper components, to make them. We are going to make another pair for sure, but I am going to make that other pair tomorrow. Oh, and before I forget, this video, as I said, took place over 5 days, meaning I was in and out on different days throughout the week. And so my voice is going to sound a little bit different probably each time, depending on what time of day it is, depending on whatever. But that's what happened, because it was a crazy busy week. I stopped in our local Hobby Lobby because, as I said earlier in the video, I just don't have many components to make chandelier earrings. So I picked these up, half price. It wasn't $3.99. It was $2. Now, I will give you a tip here. If you're buying these at Hobby Lobby, or anywhere for that matter, make sure all the holes are open, because the other pack that was there, some of the holes you'd have to take a bead reamer or two because they weren't punched all the way through. So keep that in mind when you're buying these. And I'm sure you could find some on Amazon. And if I can find some on Amazon, I'll add it to my store, Avante Jewelry Store on Amazon, link below the videos. I also have these, and I have these. And I know you can't really tell what they look like till I take them out of here. So I guess I'm committing to keeping them. We don't need all of these out here, but let's take a look at 2. Obviously, this is the top loop. We could put a bead here and then 3 dangles here and here. And I guess this pack had 8 pieces, so you could make 4 pairs of earrings. And this pack has 10, so you can make 5 pairs of earrings. 5 pair, 4 pair. Again, I'm going to set the extras aside. These, I guess we can dangle something in the center and something from the bottom of the teardrop. So these are what I have to work with. I'll get a couple of these taken off of this card, and then we'll get started. So here's the 3 styles. I'm not sure which one to start with. This one will be a little more time consuming because we have a lot of dangles to make. This one, at least 4, and this one, I guess this one's a little bit unlimited. I think I'm drawn to these first. I'm getting into some bead stash that I haven't seen for quite some time. You may have seen the video from some of these components. I can't even tell you which video it would be. Can't remember. But I have these textured, almost pebbled-like discs. And I have these textured silver, a little bit shinier disc on this chain. Maybe we can work those in somehow. I have some little 6mm rondelles, gray, kind of metallic gray. And then I have too many of these. I have some of these components. So I do have some things, I guess, to work with when it comes to building these earrings. Not sure yet which pieces and parts we're going to use, but I know the goal is to make them chandelier-like by having dangles coming down through. And then, of course, we need some kind of bead here. I do have some small 1-inch head pins. Let's get some of these little rondelles out of here. Well, I don't think I need that many, but that's what I have. We only have so much room in here to fill in. Whatever we dangle from here, we only have so much room. And since I'm leaning towards using these somewhere in the dangle, or these, kind of like those. But I need something for here. This is some of that chain that I pulled out earlier. Now, I was not able to find gold Yeah, at Hobby Lobby, absolutely no gold chandelier components. I could take this off the chain and change it over, or I could just take this filigree bead. Kind of large though. Scale is important. Guess I'm going to go looking for another bead. I found a couple of crystals with an AB finish. Do we want 3 beads here? Do we want a metal bead? Do we want a different shape of bead? Decisions. This is hard. I was sitting here playing and I reversed it. I put a crystal on the bottom and a crystal on top with a rondelle in the center. I like that better. Let's just see. Let's see if it will work. I'm going to bend this at a right angle. Don't need to trim much off. It's pretty much right at 3/8. Tiny bit. Wires flush. Make a loop. Close the loop. I'm going to try to attach this directly to the loop in the center of the earring component rather than use a jump ring. If I can get it closed. I don't know if I can. We shall find out. It's actually not very easy to get this through here. Try to keep the beads pushed down. I don't think there's really a front or a back. There, I got it in. Now let's see if I can get it closed without having to use a jump ring. Looks like I can. So that would be our first dangle, our first component. Okay, we're done. Oh gosh, you know better. We're not done. Let's see here. I have a couple of options here for the longest dangle. I think I like this one. And let's get another head pin. Guess I'm going to build the center of this first. What if we put a metallic rondelle in between, or should we do a crystal in between? Maybe a crystal. I'll get some more. I have a crystal, but this is not an eye pin. So if I want to connect these two, I need to turn that into an eye pin, and that's doable. All we need to do is take some flush cutters and cut off the head of the head pin. I'll do that over my trash. Came off very easy. And then with the wire flush, get a good grip. Yep, get a good grip. Well, no, it's just slipping. You know, maybe I need to buy that one-step looper. That's the smallest one. This is so strange. It just keeps slipping. I can't seem to get a hold of that. I'm going to cut it straight. I'm going to cut it some more anyway. Never had that happen where I wasn't able to roll that and make a little eye. I'm going to fold that back, pull it back, add the crystal. We have our crystal with an eye on one end. Now let's try to make this eye go the same direction. I can always adjust it. And I don't know if I need to cut much off at all. Maybe just a tiny little bit. Very tiny. Just pulling it back and closing it up. This is what we have. We have an eye on each end, but we do want to take a second here to flatten those pliers and make sure these are going the same direction. I'll lay it down so you can see it. I think it turned out pretty good. Let's go ahead. I'm going to use my chain nose pliers. Find one end and let's see if we can connect this through the hole in this component that I took off of a necklace, I believe. It's been a long time ago, like I said. If you remember which video that was, be sure to comment below and remind me. As far as putting this on here, I need to see if I need to go to a jump ring because I need to decide what my front and back is of this and make sure it doesn't turn. I think I'm okay if I just open this. I think I can get by without a jump ring. I'm talking about the direction that the bottom component is going to hang. I'm going to go ahead and put it on here. Hold it up to here anyway. Maybe we should put the ear wire on. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's get an ear wire on here so we can really see what we're working with. And again, think about direction. I think we're okay without a jump ring. A lot of times you only have to use a jump ring because of the direction that you want the earring to fall. So this is what we have so far. We're getting there. Slowly, but we're getting there. We need some other dangles. Any thoughts? I know this is probably not showing up real well against that color, but this is what we have so far. We just have to decide what the front's going to be. I think this is the front. As soon as we figure this one out, we'll make the second one. We need something here. Get another small 1-inch head pin, and let's see what we can stack. Doesn't give me much left to make a loop, and I may want the crystal at the bottom. I think I'll like that. I just have to decide if I want 4 beads or an uneven number by using a larger head pin. This is a 2-inch head pin. So let's do the same idea, just stacking some beads. And of course, make sure you have enough of the same bead. Now that's what it would look like if I had a long dangle here, 3 there, 5 here. Now what's happening as far as what I'm seeing here, this looks a little bit flat compared to everything else. We might have to do something about that. So do we go with 3? Do we go with 4 or 5 or 3? Do we just go with 3? 3, I have to make a loop. I like 3. How about you? Do you like 3? So if that's the case, I'm going to go back to a 1-inch head pin, and I'm going to do just like I did in the top center and do crystal, rondelle, crystal. These are beautiful crystals. They have an AB finish. I don't know if it's reflecting or showing in the camera, but they're gorgeous. So what we need to do now is go ahead and do the same thing we did for this one. Bend this at a right angle. Decide if we need to take anything off of it. I think I'm going to go with it. I just have a place that I'm looking for here. Wires flush, make a loop, close the loop. Could have cut a little bit off, but let's just roll with it. Bend this, make a loop, close the loop. Got my chain nose pliers. So open this up sideways. It's a little bit easier to attach this on the bottom than it was in the center. And close it up. Do the same thing here. Sideways, open it sideways. Now, this is where I guess I do want to think about what direction I'm putting these. Put this back on here. Why I'm saying that is I want to hook towards the back, not towards the front when I'm putting these on. So it looks like I'm going to need to change that one. You'll see what I mean in 1 second here. Or maybe you already know. Just trying to get that flipped around. Again, these chain nose pliers get in here really well. But this one here, I have it front facing and on the top loop, and I don't want it front facing. I'm going to take that off. Bear with me here. Take it off and reverse it. So they're all facing towards the back. Every time I attach something, I want it facing towards the back of the earring. So this is what we have. Now we just need to decide, what do I have here? Is this facing front or back? Aha, it's facing front. And I need to turn that around. Okay, let's take a look at it. This is what I have. Now would you consider this a chandelier earring just because it's long? It has 3 dangles. And is there anything else we can do with it? Is there anything we can do right here? Put a little more emphasis on here. Do I put several of these on here so that there's movement? Because I have more here. I think though they'll just fall and stack up in line. Do we want to dangle an extra crystal here or an extra bead? What happens if we take another rondelle? And boy, this is short. But I'm going to bend it. Might be kind of hard. I'm going to just put this right out at the very tip of here and bend it. You could also wire wrap your beads if you want. You can do whatever you'd like. Have to straighten that out a little bit. This is what I have. I hope you can see that. Let's try this. Let's open this up sideways and attach it in this same jump ring. And attach it right here. I'll show you. I probably should have had the wire, the head pin a little bit shorter. But this is what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think that finishes it off right there. It does have a little bit of space here between the loop and the rondelle, but I think that's doable. If you're enjoying this video, I sure do appreciate a like. Be sure to comment. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe. And keep watching. There's more. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to repeat this and make the other earring. And for that, I'll just play some music for you.
While I'm gazing through my window tonight, I'm remembering the things I have done in my life. Oh, making one or two turns that weren't really what I planned. Sometimes the choices I made have been hard to understand. Better get ready, I'm ready. Better get ready, I'm ready to do all that I gotta do to.
This one failed. I didn't get the right bend. I have to get another head pin. Let's see if we have it. See if I forgot anything. See if it matches. This one turned out a little bit longer than that one. That's the one I did a second time. I might need to do it a third time. Here's our second pair of chandelier earrings, and probably the second pair of chandelier earrings that I've ever made in my life. What do you think? Are we getting there with pair number 2? We've got some dimension to it. We've got some dangles. We've got longer earrings. I think they classify as chandelier earrings, but we're not done yet. Let's move on to pair number 3. How about if we try these next? Do you have any ideas for me? Can you send them to me, please? Let me just pause for a second here. Oh, I think I heard one of you. Oh gosh, I know you do talk to me in my videos. I know you do. We have some chain. We could do all kinds of dangles here. I wish I could open this loop up and slip these on there, but it doesn't work that way. I do see that I have a couple of different sizes of these discs. I have this size and then a little bit larger, so that's kind of cool. Let's take some of these off of here. See what we can come up with. And I'm going to save the original jump ring because we could possibly reuse that. It's probably going to take a few minutes, so maybe I'll just take these off camera, or maybe I'll fast forward. Let's just fast forward while I take these apart. I'm closing these back up, but okay, we have some small ones taken off. Now let's get some larger ones ready here. Ready for something. So I have this chain that we could possibly upcycle. And then I have this chain. I think I like that better. This one right here. So what can we do? Let's try 3 links of chain here. 3 tiny little links of chain. And put it right through here. You know it's hard. Oops. You know it's a little challenging to get through that center hole. I need 2 chain nose. There, I got it closed. A little piece of chain to start with. Doesn't matter which side I go on. Thought I would just get it started and then separate the links. Getting a good grip. And then 3 links. 1, 2, 3. I don't want to get too long on the chain. What can we dangle here? I mean, we have some of these small ones. We could put one right in the center. What happens if we go ahead and put a small disc dangling from that last link of the chain? I hope you know by now in watching this video that I had no preconceived idea as to what I was going to do. I'm just playing, just like you would be if you sat down to make something you never made before. Let's go ahead and put an ear wire on here and make sure it's going the right direction. It is, so we don't need a jump ring. And I like that the discs are two-sided, so I don't have to worry about that. Put the ear wire on each of these. See what we have so far. It's not a lot. Not a lot at all. This one we've added the disc to, so it has some movement. So let's go ahead with it. Let's add one here too. Let's do it. We could stop right here, and we have a nice little pair of earrings with lots of movement. But no, they're not chandelier earrings yet. They're just a dangle earring. So let me think on this just a minute, and I'll be right back. So this is what I'm thinking. This is how much chain I have, and I am thinking that we could use the chain to make the variation in drop from each of these. You know, maybe put 3 pieces of chain here or more, and let the length of the chain determine the chandelier part, you might say, of the chandelier earrings. Question is, do I attach it directly with the link of the chain, or do I add a jump ring? I think I'm going to go with the actual link and see if that will work. Not sure how long yet. I have to keep in mind this is all the chain that I have to work with. I did 3 links here. What if we do 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to open it up right here, leaving 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attached to the earring. Let's go with 4. Close it up. Again, trying not to have to use jump rings. You can, but trying to work without it. So now I'm going to have 4 links. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open it up here. Trying to find the cut in the jump ring. I have 1 with 5 and 1 with 4. And I'm going to go on the other side of the one that has 5 and again put 4. I think you know where I'm going with this. I'm going to pyramid it, you know, taper it, whatever you want to call it. Now I need to have 4, counting the one that's on the earring itself. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to take the chain off here. Again, finding the cut in the jump ring. I'm sure it will all make sense by the time I'm done. Surely it will make sense, right? So I've got 5 and then 4. Well, we need to do 3 now, don't we? I think so. So I need to do 3. Counting the one on the ear wire. 1, 2, 3. I need to take it off here. And what are we going to do? We're going to go to the other side and do 3. Close it up. Wiggle it back and forth if you need to. So we need 3. 1, 2, 3. Open it up here. I think I'll have enough chain to do what I want. We have 5, 4, and 3. I think we need to do 2. This kind of makes sense to me. Keep going with this idea. Open it up and add 2 on the other side. And sorry, I got off camera there. Close it up. So we need 2. And I think that's as short as I'm going to go. I don't think I'm going to go down to 1. If I want to, I can add 1. Let's take a look at what we have here. That's what we have. But I'm not going to stop there with it. I'm going to do something else. But I really want to finish one earring first, just to make sure I'm going in a direction that I'm going to like. I mean, I'm liking it so far. Let's set that chain aside. Let's set this aside and focus on this one here. Now, I have a large disc and I have the small disc. Let's put the large one at the end of the 5th link of the chain, you know, the center one. The longest one. Put that right here. I guess I could take that off of there. So that in the center. Let's take a small one. Maybe you have a necklace like this in your stash, you know, something similar that you could work with. Let's skip the 4 and go to the 3. And do that one more time, but on the other side. And finding the 3. And then we'll take a look at this on the earring display and see if we like where we're going with it. And if it even qualifies as a chandelier earring. Does it qualify? Does it? I've got some chain in between, so we've got chain dangles. I have to say, I like it. I like it. I don't know if it's officially a chandelier earring, but it has some of the design going for it. I could go down to 1 link and then put the disc add another disc. Let's do that. Because I have this at 3, I have that at 2. Well, maybe another disc would look fine right there. I think I need to go down to 1. That's what I'm going to do. Instead of 2, I'm going down to 1. We can always change it. Going down to 1 and adding another disc. I don't know what else to call these. They look like a disc to me. Just trying to get to the cut and get through that single link of the chain. Give that a pinch. Let me do one more before I show it to you. Again, going down to 1 link. That's the one I want. And add another small disc. I want these discs to be in tiers, kind of tapering. Let's take a look at it. See what we've got. See if we're ready to go on. Well, I think those are fun. What do you think? I've got some chain in between, a little bit of chain and layers. I'm staring at it and I'm thinking, I think I'm going to stop there. I don't think I want any more chain in this. I don't want any beads in it. I'm just going to stop here. So what I'm going to do is make the second one, and I'll fast forward through it and play some music. We did it. By golly, we've got pair number 3. Would you consider these chandelier earrings? What do you think? Do they qualify? Do they have enough dangle, enough variation, enough movement? What do you think? Pair number 3. I really like pair number 3. This is kind of my style. First of all, I like geometric shapes, and I like the little disc dangles. They're still a little long for what I personally wear, but I do really like pair number 3. Are you ready for pair number 4? Yeah, pair number 4. Some things don't go right with this pair. We have these to work with, and we need, goodness sakes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 loops here. Look what I just discovered. Look, that has a loop here, and that's missing its loop. Does that mean there were 2 different styles in the package? I took them both. Oh no, one is broken. One is broken. That's completely unusable. I'm going to have to return these. Oh goodness sakes. Well, I guess I'm doing that tomorrow if I'm out and about. So I'm going to have to stop the video here, get these replaced, and see you another day. But as you know, it will still be in this video, so keep watching. It's too bad. I've got 4 earring components here. All of the holes are good on all of these. They all have their little ring right here. But then I noticed that this one looked a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, shinier than the other 3. Well, this is the one that I replaced today from the last pack that they had at Hobby Lobby, where the rings, were not drilled all the way through. And then I saw that it's more than just the finish. It doesn't match. Doesn't match. Unbelievable. And they probably threw the other pack away. I just got home. Do you see this little flower here in the center? Do you see the little bead in the center? It has this little tiny bead right there. Can you tell on camera how this flower is daintier than this flower? Yes, they are different. For this one, the coils are larger, the coil type petals, but more than anything, what jumps out at me, besides the finish, is this center bead is larger and completely different from this center bead. Crazy. So I still only have 1 pair to make some earrings. And there's no going back. They don't have any more, and they probably threw away the others. So I should have picked out 2 replacement, not 1. I didn't see it. I think it's actually quite easy for anyone to miss that. So I am going to use this one, set that bad one aside again. I didn't make any progress on that, and take off 1 more of these. Let me do that and I'll be right back. Here they are. This is what we're going to work with. and making another pair of chandelier earrings. I'm thinking about working with this bar chain, and every other one has some cool texture to it in between the ones that are smooth. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to be taking some of this apart and seeing what we can do with it. This is very long, and so it doesn't have a clasp. Nope, no clasp that I can find. You need to open up some of these jump rings. Hopefully I can open them up. Hopefully they are cut somewhere. Let's try this. Well, that's not the cut. You know, some jump rings do not have a cut in them. Now, wouldn't that be something if I have no way to open these jump rings? Let's try again. Okay, I just didn't pull on it hard enough. Set that aside. And I'm actually thinking about working with just metal and no beads on these. I kind of envision some of this chain hanging down, not this long, but several links. We have 9 loops on here, so that would put 4 and 4 with this being the center. Let's just go ahead and use the same jump ring. Now that I finally got it open, let's attach it to the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if this jump ring is too small to go through here, which I can see I'm already having some challenges, not impossible. Let's see here. Where's those other jump rings that I had? Maybe it's time to work these in just a little bit. As long as I can get it through here. Right here's the center. Now we just need to decide how long we want this. Well, these might end up being the longest chandelier earrings that I'm making today. And obviously they can be any length that we want them to be. I think some of you call them shoulder dusters, duster earrings. You know, they dust the shoulder. Let's take another jump ring. And this is starting again with a textured, but do I want to start with the textured? I don't think I do. I think I want to alternate. So I'm going to have to remove one more. Take the jump ring. And now I'm starting with a smooth bar where the first one here was textured. Just going to put this to one side of the center. Sorry if I'm getting off camera there. So if we have 4 here, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to back off to 3. I have to have a really good grip to get this little jump ring off, even though it's little. Another jump ring, new jump ring, a round jump ring where these are a little bit oval. All right, so texture would be next because that was texture. This is smooth. Now let's go with texture again. And this time, let's go down to 2. Makes sense, right? I'm going to try my chain nose so I can get in here a little closer. Wow, come on here, open up for me. It would be faster if I would just cut it. Initially, though, I was going to use the jump rings, but oh my, there, got it. You can see some of the metal I'm flaking off because of how hard I'm having to grip it. I'll clean that up in just a minute. Okay, so I guess the one challenge is now I'd be down to 1, so maybe I should have gone to 5 here. I mean, that's really long if I go to 5, or do I do 1 and 1 here? 1 and 1. I really didn't want to go as long as 5. I mean, that would be super long. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, that's really long. Definitely a shoulder duster. Just having a hard time going that long, so this is textured one, and I need a smooth one. Do I have a smooth one at the other end? I do. Let's try again to get this jump ring open. Who knew that opening the jump rings was going to be what would slow me down on this? Get a new jump ring. And let's attach the smooth one. Now each one of these has a loop at the bottom, which means we could attach a bead to it. All right, let me see here. Since I don't want to go any longer here, and we got 4, 3, 2, I think I'm going to go ahead, after all, can't believe I'm going to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and keep this at 2. And then let's see what happens when we go with 1. It may look okay and it may not, and I need a textured one, so I'm trying to find the end here where I have it textured. But I am going with a new jump ring. When I attach it to here, I'm using a new jump ring. Oh no, I made a mistake. I can see it right here. You probably saw it. I used a new jump ring there. I shouldn't have. I will fix that. Needs to be consistent. So why I used a new one here, I need to change this out. I'm glad I caught it now. I need to use one of the original jump rings. I think it always takes a little longer to figure out the first one when you're making earrings and it's a new design, you know, figuring out the design, and then after that it goes a little bit faster. I don't know if I like the two being the same length there. I really don't. So my only choice is to go back to what I had said, which is to make this 5 and then 4 and then 3, 2, 1. I'm not wearing these anyway. I'm going to be listing these. Rather than add on to each one of these, I'm going to go ahead and this is going to be 1, 2. This one needs to be 3. I'm going to go ahead and make them longer. Let the buyer decide what length they want. So I'm going to move these over. Just finding the cut in the jump ring and moving them over. It's a long earring. It is too long for my display. Wow. That's some earring. I don't even know how to show you. I don't have a really good way to show this to you. I just have to lay it out here. But this is what we're looking at. I still don't think I'm in the camera very well. Goodness sakes, do we have the dangles? Starting with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's what we have. A shoulder duster chandelier earring. I need to fit something in here though. What's that something going to be? We need some kind of pretty bead. Do we want to use a crystal like we used here? Let me think on that a minute and I'll be right back. These crystals are a little bit different from the other ones that I used because they are faceted. They still have an AB finish to them, faceted in a different way. So I think that would look really cool here. And I'm just going to push this down and bend this at a right angle, which, as you know, it's not easy to do. So maybe I will just take this and put a little space there between. This is a very stiff head pin. And then let's trim this down to 3/8 of an inch. Wire is flush. Make a loop. It's going completely crooked. I'm going to keep working with it. Try to straighten it out. Challenging sometimes when you're working with this little amount of wire, but I've got it. Let's do the other one. The goal is to try to make them close in length as possible. I think they're pretty good. Put that through there and close it up. Give it a little pinch. Do the same thing here, even though I don't have the other earring made yet. Again, taking it from the front to the back, spinning on me. I'm going to set it down on the table, close that up, give it a little pinch. I think that crystal is going to work just fine. Now that we know what our design is for this chandelier shoulder duster, I'm just going to make the second one. Oh my! These are the longest pair of earrings I've ever made in my entire life. Yes, they are. And honestly, you could, if you wanted to, take this type of chain and you could go a step further and add a bead dangle, a crystal or a bead off of every single one of these little loops at the end. You know, just use a jump ring, or I could even just, I could just put jump rings there. We could do that so it's not completely empty. I really don't want to add a lot of small beads. I really don't want to wire wrap any little beads for here. So what happens if we take these little jump rings and just use these as a little finishing so that it doesn't look like we didn't finish the earrings? So I'm just going to take and put a jump ring on the end of each one of these, and we're going to take a look at it. And then if one of you happens to purchase these earrings and you want to add beads at the end, well, have at it. Go for it. Let's just see what happens if we put these jump rings. I might even have smaller jump rings. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've used these little ones, but I think this is pretty much my smallest. But let's take a look at this one after I get it done and see. I'm not going in any certain order. I'm just grabbing a jump ring and putting it wherever I see it needs one. You could dangle charms from here if you wanted to. Depends on how much weight you want to your earring. How long, how much weight, how much dangle, how much chandelier look you want to it or not. I'll get through there. Did I miss any? I think I did. Yes, I did. It looks different, but I think it finishes the earring. I wish I had a better way to show you. Here's with all the little jump rings. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for this earring. Here they are. Crazy as they might be, they are done. You could do pretty much any variation of this, honestly. They don't have to be this long. They don't have to have the jump rings at the end. You could attach beads at the end. You can do whatever you would like. Pair number 4 was quite the challenge now, wasn't it? Are you ready to recap what we made today? Not sure if these qualify as chandelier earrings, but I just know there's someone out there that would wear these. And I think they'd be really pretty in different colors. I thought you might like to see what these look like on a larger display because this wasn't cutting it. It's hard to hold them still, but there they are. Pair number 3. I hope they're focusing. Let me touch the camera lens and make sure they focus. These are the longest, craziest earrings I've ever made in my entire life. Can I get them to stop moving and touch the screen to get them focused? Oh my gosh. Would you wear these? I wouldn't. I'm just going to hold it up and see if they really are shoulder dusters. Yes. Yes, they are. All the earrings that we made today will be listed in our eBay store, Avante Avenue, link below the video, and my tools that I used. And if I can find some chandelier components to recommend, I'll put them in my Amazon store for Avante Jewellery. That link is also below the video. If you're on your smartphone, laptop, iPad, etc., you can access the links below the video. You can't access them on YouTube. I hope you had fun in today's video. Let me know if you would try something like this or not. I know it's not for everybody, but I fulfilled the request. As I said, check that off the list. I fulfilled the request to make chandelier earrings. Thanks for watching, commenting, and supporting the channel. I truly appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.